There we go. We are live. We are live. Golly. Apologize. New updates or something on YouTube. I don't know. Just trying to figure it out. Welcome to day 26. Mobility and Core. Lucas is running the show for that. This is our Live for Lives charity drive here, where we're trading our training sessions for donations for Save the Children Corona Response Fund. So thank you for those who have been donating, and thank you for those who will be donating in the future. If it's your first time viewing with us, make sure you like or subscribe to the video. We like to hear from you guys, hear what's going on, and we're here to give you a balanced regimen of pretty much training sessions throughout the week. But without further ado, I'm going to let Lucas introduce his session to you guys.
All right, so progressing out of what we had last week for mobility. Again, we got our Malasana to start off, open up those hips, progressing into our gentle yoga, and then we're gonna work into a floor flow. So we got a different pattern today on the floor we're gonna work through. Getting out of that connection phase, we're gonna progress into control. We got our single leg knee drive hold, our single leg quad stretch, our single leg knee drive with stability, so really stabilizing ourselves before we get into some of our core strength. We got our hip flow that we're gonna strengthen. We have a bridge and reach that we're gonna work through, so a little bit of mobility there with our bridge, and then we have our wall openers we're gonna hit again. Our set one for our core, when we get into our strength phase, we're gonna work our seated press on the wall, so we're gonna get our shoulders prepped and warmed. Then we're gonna get into our swimmers, where we get a little bit more into our posterior side of our chain, working into our shoulder taps, so we're a little bit more active. Into side planks, these ones are gonna be a little bit more mobile than last time. We're gonna be switching each arm. We're gonna work some single arm downward dog if we can. Otherwise, we're just gonna stabilize that regular downward dog. Our set two, we have a static leg raise. So we're just starting off with that leg raise, really prep our abdominals into some flutter kicks, so we get a little bit more active. We get our crossover kicks, and then we get into our windshield wipers. So we're really getting mobile down low in our hips with our abdomen, and then we get into our up down planks, our step up down planks, and then our planks with our single leg kick through. So working that similar downward dog movement, really stretching out our whole body here.
All right.
Progressing into our final set, we're really gonna emphasize that bird dog again. Bird dog with that hip rotation, get that hip really strengthened. Then we got that same side bird dog, really working on our balance, and we're finishing with that plyo pop-up. Then we got our yoga to cool it all down.
Wow.
All right.
Think they ready for that, man?
Yeah. I'm ready for it. I need to get a nice stretch, man.
They set you up here.
All right, so we're all gonna start in our Malasana. We're gonna get our feet hip width apart. We're gonna sit into it as much as we can comfortably. If you can, we're gonna get those arms leveled out so they're nice, palms together. And we're holding. Once we're locked in, we're gonna try and center that breath. We're taking nice deep breaths in through the nose. Releasing out the mouth. Again, once we've centered that breath, we're going to add that neck rotation, so we're inhaling. And releasing. Working across to the other side, getting as far as we can in that tension and holding there. And then releasing. We got one more on each side. Working all the way across as far as we can get comfortably with our neck. Making sure to keep that chest high. We don't want to be rounding over. Coming across one more time. Working back. We're going to get into our overhead lifters. So we're pressing that left arm down. We're reaching up overhead, extending, looking over, and we're holding for 1, 2, 3. Slowly coming down nice and controlled. We plant that other arm, look over that shoulder. 1, 2, 3. Working back to the other side. 2, 2, 3. 3, 2, 3. Compare that breath. We're inhaling. Exhale on the reach. And back down. Level those hands out. We got our rotators, so we're gonna get those arms lengthened out if we can here. Stable throughout our whole trunk. We're gonna rotate. Working across. Trying to get as far as we can in this T-spine twist. Keep those levels our arms parallel. And we're back to our midline. We're gonna press up out of Malasana. We can walk our feet in. We're gonna progress into our gentle yoga now. Taking those arms up overhead. Bringing that gaze up to the ceiling. We're gonna take a deep breath here. On the release, we're letting those hands fall. We're forward folding. Again, here we're gonna take a couple deep breaths. If we can, we're gonna step one leg back and then the other into plank. Dropping those knees down. We're sitting into child's pose. So we're gonna run through some gentle warm up. Taking a deep breath here. Releasing. Gonna work that little bit of side twist. We're gonna take those arms out. Again, we're taking a deep breath here. If we can, we're trying to target that tension in the side of our body. And we release. One more breath. Working back across the other way to even it up. One more deep breath here. Bring our hands back to our midpoint. We're going to thread the needle now so we can come up a little bit, do our cow. Dropping that arm all the way through, keeping it on the turf. We're going to rotate and look over. Holding here. Nice, easy breaths. And we're slowly dragging that arm back, keeping it on the turf. Leveling it out. We're going to rotate to that other arm. Slip it through, threading the needle. Take easy breaths here. One more deep breath. Slowly bringing that arm back. We're going to get into our wrist work a little bit here, so rotating around. Slowly pulsate back and forth, feeling out that tension in our wrists. However much we feel comfortable, really just trying to open it up. Bring it back forward. We're going to roll over onto our knuckles. And take an easy breaths here. All our joints. We're going to bring those hands back. We're going to go straight arms. We're going to get into our scapular presses. So we got our arms straight, hands in the middle, facing each other, fingertips towards one another, and we're gonna drop, pinch those shoulder blades together, and then we press. Dropping that neck through, keeping those arms straight, locked out. We should feel our shoulder blades trying to pinch together. We're gonna hold here, really squeezing them, and then we release, we press through. Got one more here, really holding, really trying to load those shoulders. And we're pressing through. We're gonna re-level out those hands. We got some cat-cow to work through. Starting off, we're gonna round that back over. Get into our cat. Try to get that back to the ceiling if we can. Inhaling here and then we release. Bring that gaze to the ceiling. Rolling that back now. This full extension. If we want, we can get a little bit more into it with our fingertips, so we round that back over. Working our shoulders a little bit more if we get onto our fingertips here. And then we're back down. We got one more. Really trying to press through. Tuck that chin, round over. Okay. And we're back to cow. We're gonna level those hands out. We're gonna sit into our child's pose. Pulling that gaze up, we're gonna try and glide through those hands into scorpion. Again, we're gonna work that neck a little bit, looking to the left. Now looking to the right. Bring it back to our midpoint. Sit back into our child's pose. We're gonna kick up to downward dog. If we can here, we're gonna go single leg through. So if we have to, we can readjust and reset. But we got our single leg through. We're gonna drop this back knee. We sit back into it. We can bring our right arm to our right knee. We're gonna extend that left arm overhead. Get that side body half moon. Feeling it hit all the way down the side of our body here. Into our IT bend. Bringing it back. Same arm that was up is coming down now. We're looking overhead, extending that other arm, and we're taking a couple breaths here. One more breath. We're going to plant that arm that was extended now. Get a little bit more into our hip here. And we're going to extend that other arm up overhead. Looking overhead as well with our eyes. Taking one more deep breath here. Releasing. We're going to drop that hand. Kick that leg back into plank. We're going to go into our downward dog. Kick that left leg up. Driving it through. Resetting if we have to. Dropping that right knee. We sit back. We got our left arm on our left knee. Right arm extends overhead. Into that side body stretch on the right side. One more deep breath here. So again, that arm that was extended is now planting down. We're looking overhead and extending that other arm. One more breath. Take that arm that's extended. Drop it in between the hip here. We extend that other arm overhead. Deep breath here. that knee if we can, into plank. We're dropping back to child's pose. So that was our warm-up, little gentle flow. Now we're gonna get into our floor flow. So if we want, we can just glide through our hands onto our stomach, flat on the floor. We're gonna extend those arms out, getting as much length in our body here. We're gonna take a couple breaths. Really trying to center ourselves. Alright, so we're gonna work this right side to start. We're gonna keep this left arm and left leg extended. We're gonna pull this right arm and this right knee up, and we're gonna hold. Taking a breath here. We're gonna extend that arm out, extend that leg. Now we're gonna rotate over. So we're gonna keep our feet on the floor here. We're just working our upper body into our shoulders. We're getting this arm is rotating over, trying to keep those feet down. This other arm can come across more. And we're working our shoulders and upper body twists. Holding here for a couple seconds, taking a breath. Then we slowly come back, rotate forward. We're gonna hit that other side now. We're gonna bring that left arm back, that left knee comes forward. We still got that extension on that other side. Taking breaths here. Working that extension out. Again, we're gonna rotate this left arm over, our feet stay down, trying to get across. That right arm can come over a little bit. We're trying to touch down if we can, or get as far into the tension as we possibly can get. And we're coming back across, nice and controlled. We're gonna get into a little bit of active scorpion kicks here. So we're gonna take those arms, move forward, we're coming out to T. We're rotating that right foot back, trying to touch down if we can, and then we come back, nice and controlled. Opening up our chest and lower back here. Trying to pair that breath if we can, we're inhaling. Releasing as we get as far as possible into that stretch, and we bring it back. One more on each side. Last one. So we're gonna move out of this movement right here, bringing it back. We're gonna go forward again. So similar to when we kicked over that right leg, we're gonna press back with this right arm, kicking over. We're pressing up. So now where we can go for our single leg stretch. So again, if we're forward here, we're dragging this right arm back, kicking over that leg into our scorpion so it's behind us. And now we're reaching for that single leg. Taking a couple breaths here. Really trying to get as deep into the stretch as you can. And now we're kicking back, round, gliding out in that full extension, taking a breath. Drawing back that left arm so we can kick back that left leg, pressing through. That left leg comes behind us, and we're reaching for that right. Breath here. And slowly again rotating back around. We're going to get fully extended in that pencil. Drawing our arms back to start, we're gonna go into just a low cobra. So we don't have our arms pressing through, we're on our elbows right now. We're just in a low, little bit of spinal extension. We're gonna bring those hands back now and press through into our scorpion. Bringing that gaze to the ceiling. Take one more deep breath here. We're going to curl those toes, picking up in the plank, and then dropping to downward dog. I'm going to hold here for a second, taking a breath. We're going to slowly walk our way up. We're in the forward fold now. Bringing it to tabletop, so we're making just a flat back. Our arms and head are just hanging. And one more breath here. Rounding that back now. Trying to let each vertebrae align. Cleaning those shoulders. All right, that's our warm up. Now we're getting into our control phase. Progressing out of that. We got our full body warm up. We got our single leg knee drive hold. So we're pulling up. And we're gonna hold 1, 2, 3, trying to get that knee to the chest. And we're down. Hold 1, 2, 3. Down. So if we need to, we can walk forward slowly. Otherwise, we can stay stationary. 1, 2, 3. If we can, we're going to add to it a little bit here. We're going to get onto our toes. So 1, 2, 3, and then we get that little bit of ankle press. Trying to get that activation in our ankle. 1, 2, 3, we kip up and down. 1, 2, 3, pressing up. Trying to be as controlled through the movement as possible. We don't want to be rushing. One more. And we're down. We're going to get into our single leg holds. So we're going into our quad stretch. We're going to just hold and activate it first. We're going to keep our chest up. We're now rounding forward. And we're down. Holding. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Trying to work that transition here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Once we're comfortable here, we can add to it. We get that little bit of depth. We get that little bit of bend in our knee so we can hinge forward. We can get that arm extension. Or we can try and touch down and we're back up. We're off to that other side. Again, getting that little bit of bend to stabilize that knee. Get that arm extension. Or we can touch down even further. Working off to that other side. We got one more on each side. Again, getting that arm extension to touch down. Back up. Nice and controlled. All right, progressing out of that, we're gonna get into our stability. We really wanna lock and stabilize that ankle. So we got our knee drive to 90. We wanna get that flat tabletop out. We got that 90 degree. We don't want our foot bending in near our knee. We got it out dangling so we can work some mobility here. So we're up. We got our ankle rotations. We're gonna work, before we get to the rotations, actually we're gonna work plantar and dorsiflex. Just up and down. On that right leg, making sure that knee stays up. We're working those rotations around the world now. Really trying to get that mobility in the ankle, making sure to stabilize and lock in that other leg. Really trying to feel that grip of that foot into the turf. We're working around the other way. Work. Leveling out that foot, slowly coming down. We're gonna be off to the other side here. So we got the other knee driving through. We're working plantar and dorsiflex to start. We can tie the opposite arm with that knee, really strengthening that kinetic chain here. And now we're working rotations around the world. Really trying to open up that ankle, focusing on our balance here. One more round. And we're stable, leveling it out. We're down. We're gonna get into our hip opener now. So we're gonna be externally rotating that hip. We come out, back, out, back. So we have to get that knee drive all the way up to 90 so we can fully externally rotate and bring it back. We go out and we bring it back. We're out, back, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We're off to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost there. 6, 7, 8, and we're down. All right, we're gonna work our knee extension here. Really trying to get, this is our challenge here. We're really trying to get that full, we're up to our knee drive 90, and we get that full extension in our leg. So we got our kick through. So we're up stable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Off to the other side, no break. We're gonna have full extension in that knee. 1, 2, 3. If we can point that toe, it's better. 4, 5. Trying to get as far away as possible. 6, 7, 8. 2 more. 9 and 10. All right. Working out of that, we're gonna get into our hip flow, so we can sit down. Working our 90 switches here. So we got our knees in the 90s. We're gonna be extending those arms and flipping across. So if we can't, if we don't have the mobility to do this, we can drop our arms back and just work that flip to start. Just kind of shifting those hips back and forth until they get open, and we can come forward a little bit, bring those arms out, shift across, and then again, we're gonna add to it. We're pressing through, sliding that leg through into our low lunge, bringing it back nice and controlled. If we can, sitting down controlled, flipping over to the other side, cleaning through, really working that hip clean through, shifting that foot, trying to glide through into a low lunge, and then we bring it back. Again, nice and controlled. We're back to this point. We sit down those hips, flip those legs over, drive through, rotate, extend to that low lunge. Coming back, nice and controlled down, flipping over, drive, rotate. Nice and controlled. We got one more time through. Bring it back as controlled as we can. We're down. Rotate. Drive. Flip that foot. Into the lunge. Finishing strong almost there. Coming back across. We're up. And back. Bringing it back to our 90s. We can flatten our legs out. We're going to get into a little bit more of a stabilizer for our trunk here. This is going to be our bridge to reach. So how it's going to look from a front view. Good start. We're going to be dropping those hips. So as if we were going up to bridge, trying to get up onto our shoulder blades. We're going to be dropping those hips, and then we push up and extend and reach over. And come down. Push up, reach over. So we're trying to get this opposite arm across. This arm stabilizes, and this arm is trying to reach as far as we can. So we got our right arm extending as far as we can. Come back. So from this view, right here, we're gonna cross and back, cross and back. Each time we drop those hips, reset. And then we load through, get that full extension of that arm across. Almost making an X. All right. So we got here, really burning it out. We're reaching across. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Trying to get that full extension. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 2 more, finishing strong, 19, and 20. Making our way up. We're gonna get into our wall openers now, so we can reset. All right. So to start, we're gonna go with our left knee forward into our low lunge. We're on the wall. Getting that extension of our arms. We're gonna open up cross body. We're holding. Taking a breath here if we can. Bringing it back, nice and controlled. We got one more on this side, really opening it up. Trying to get that hand as far across as we can. And we're back. Unloading out of that. We're gonna get into our single leg work now. So again, we have our left leg forward. We're going down, and we're opening up overhead. Trying to get that extension of this back leg here. We can take that gaze up to the ceiling. And we're down, nice and controlled. Unloading out of it. We got that same side to hit real quick. So we got that right leg forward. We're into our single leg RDL. Get that little bit of bend. That other leg teeters back. Reaching forward. We don't have to bend past our leveled out point. We're just level. And then we extend. We can get that little bit of external rotation in our hip as we look up to the ceiling. So feel that stretch all the way into that single leg here. And we're down, nice and controlled. Got one more on that left leg. Teetering back, kicking that leg back. We get that arm down, level out our back, and we're reaching up. Taking easy breaths here. One more breath. And we're down, nice and controlled. Coming up, into that right leg. We teeter, lever forward a little bit, get that little bit of bend. Kick that other leg back. Slowly rotate, we get that external rotation in our hip, get that toe up. Easy breaths here, one more in through the nose. Slowly coming down. We're gonna hit that other side real quick. Got our right knee forward now. We're extending across, trying to get that, we're in that low lunge, trying to get that other hand to touch the wall. Bringing it back, nice and controlled. We got one more. Taking a breath here. Reaching for it. Holding. Slowly coming back. Nice and controlled. Coming out of that loaded lunge, we're into that single leg. We got our right leg to start. We're teetering forward, we got the left leg extended. Coming up, overhead. All right, almost there. Taking one more deep breath. Coming out of it. Into that other side. On that left leg, and that little bit of bend. Teeter, lever forward. Kick out that other leg. Get that external rotation with us. Almost there. Taking one more breath. Slowly levering back to our single leg RDL. Pressing up. We got one more on each. Sitting into it. We got that knee bend, that other leg kicks back. Getting leveled out. We're rotating. Taking one more deep breath here. Bring that arm down into our single leg RDL. Pushing through. Shift into that other leg. Last little bit of mobility here. We're getting that leg bent, sitting into that single leg RDL. And we're extending. We got one more breath here, taking a deep one. Trying to come back nice and controlled. Bring that arm back, push through, and we're out of it. All right, we got a quick breather, and then we're gonna be back for our core work. All right, once we've all been hydrated, we're gonna come back. As we progress into our core work, we're gonna stabilize that trunk a little bit more. We're gonna sit on the wall here. So we're getting into our 90-degree sit if we can. We're gonna activate those shoulders. So we're getting those arms at that 90 as well. We're pressing through, coming back down, trying to keep our hands on the wall if we can. Otherwise, as far as we can get back works. If we can't sit into our trunk, because when we sit in our trunk, it isolates that upper body. We can come up and we can just kind of lean on the wall, get that our chest out, and just work that press from up here. But ideally, we want to isolate that upper body, get a little bit of activation out of our hips here, and sit into that wall sit. So we're pressing through. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Coming down. We're gonna get out of those wall presses into our swimmers now. So we just got our shoulders activated a little bit. Now we're gonna be on the floor. We're getting our toes off the ground. Arms are up. So we're into our swimmer or Superman. We're gonna activate that Superman with a little bit of movement. And that whole posterior side of our chain here. We're gonna swim back. Rotate those hands if you can and touch. Bring them back out. That's 1. 2, making sure to keep those toes off the turf. 3, nice and controlled. Don't want to be holding that breath here. 4. 5, halfway there. Slowing it down, trying to stay on my pace. 6, 7, 8, 2 more, almost there. 9, and 10. We're down. Taking deep breaths here. We should have just built up some little bit of tension in our lower back here. If we want, we can go into scorpion, press through. Try and relieve some of that tension we just built up. Shimmying back and forth. We're gonna get into our shoulder taps now, so we're a little bit more active. So we're getting into plank. We're gonna press into our plank. We're going tap across, working that single arm strength. Tap across. 1, 2. Trying to stay on my pace the whole time. We're gonna slow down that tempo near the end. 3, 4, 5. We can pick those eyes up. It's a little bit better for us. Makes it a little bit more challenging. Make sure we have to work with the proper posture. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We're halfway there. This is where it starts to slow down. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. These last 2 are going to be our slowest ones. Really trying to load it. 19 and 20. Work. Coming down, catching our breath here. We got our side plank switching. So we're going to be in a plank here. We're just rotating up, over, and we're down. So rotating out of that plank. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Trying to get that full extension in our arm. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, halfway there. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, almost there, pushing yourself. 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. We're down again, catching our breath. We got our little bit of a challenge before we take a break here and grab some water. We're gonna get into our downward dog single arm. So if we can't work our downward dog already, we don't wanna go to single arm, obviously. We just wanna strengthen that downward dog movement. So our downward dog, we're in our cow or child's pose right now. We come up out of it to just leveled out back. We grip those toes into that turf, press through into our downward dog. So now if we can, we're going to take one of the arms away and just stabilize that left arm. Working that static hold here. Almost there. And rotating to that other arm. Cupping that other arm behind our back. Almost there. Got one more set of this, 15 seconds on each. Bring it back to the other arm. Again, we don't want to hold our breath here, trying to provide our body with oxygen. And we're rotating again, last one here. Everyone's finishing strong. Bring that other arm down. We're going to lock out that downward dog now. Slowly walk our hands up. Rising out of that forward fold. Catching our breath. We're going to grab a quick water and rehydrate. And then we'll make our way back. We got set 2. Alright, once we've all rehydrated, we're going to make our way back. We're getting into our single leg, or not a single leg, our static leg raise. So again, we're just going to be on our back. We're just going to be working that leg hold. Bring our arms to our side, point the toes, just keep them up. We're just making sure our heels stay off the turf. And we're working. Really trying to engage that abdomen here. Almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're down. We got a little 15-second breather here. Now we're going to be up on that leg raise. We're going to be a little bit more active. We're flutter kicking. And we're working. If we can, we're going to get those toes pointed here. If we can speed it up, trying to really pick up the picks. Got little kicks. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're down. Again, catching our breath, trying to provide our body with as much oxygen as possible. We're going to get a little bit more active with our legs, work this outward pulse. So we're back into our leg raise and we're out and we cross over, out, cross over. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, halfway there, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Before we get into our windshield wipers, we're gonna work our little bit of T-spine twist here with the opposite arm going. Opening up that lower back, rewarding ourselves for that little bit of work we put in. Trying to target that breath to our lower back here. Switching over to the other side. Taking one more deep breath. Bring those legs back. We're going to get into our windshield wipers now. So how these look from the front, going down, across. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, halfway there, 11, 12, trying to get that full rotation if we can, 13, 14, 15, we want to be as controlled through it as possible, we're slowing it down for the last ones, 16, 17, 18, really slowing those legs down as we come down. 19 and 20. Again, taking deep, easy breaths here. Rolling our way up. We're gonna get onto our stomachs now, or into our plank positioning. We got knees to our armpit. So we're going into our plank. We're gonna try and get that full extension here, all the way up. So from the side view, we're here, we're getting that full extension. Then we switch to that other side. We ready? And we're up. Working 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Come out of it. Alright, we got our finisher here. Our single leg plank kick through. Putting an emphasis on that downward dog movement that we worked earlier again. We're going to be kicking that leg back and then we drive through to our knee. Our forward runner, almost like our mountain climber. So we're again, downward dog, we kick back, come through, driving that knee through. We kick back, driving that knee through. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more, 9, and 10. All right, we're switching to that other side. We gotta even it up. And that left leg through now, so we're up. And we're driving through. That's 1, 2. We inhale, we release on that drive through. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more, 9, 10. Work. All right, that's set 2. We're again gonna rehydrate. We got our last set coming up. All right. Finishing with our last set, we got our bird dog to run through. Really trying to strengthen our core here. So for bird dog, we got our right leg down, left leg down, right arm extended, left arm extended. Yeah. So we're gonna hold. We can pick those eyes up, it's a little bit better for us. Taking one more breath here. And we're down. We're gonna switch to that other side. So again, we have that left arm, left leg. We're gonna try and get as much extension in that toe as possible here. Again, picking those eyes up. And we're holding. And taking one more breath here. Slowly dropping down. We're gonna get back to the other side. We're gonna work that external hip rotation if we can into T. Trying to draw a T with our body. And we're bringing it back nice and controlled. Again, we're getting into our more complex movements here. So if we can't work these movements, we want to just continue to strengthen. We can hit 3 sets of the dog bird. Otherwise, we're going to slowly progress. We're into dog bird. Getting that external rotation. Bringing it back. And control. All right, getting into our challenger, our balance here. Working that same side. We got our right arm, right leg. Left arm, left leg extended. Work, almost there. And work slowly coming down. And in that other side, we got left arm, leg down. Right leg, right arm up. Almost there. Really focusing on that balance here, locking that core in. One more breath. Slowly coming down. All right, that concludes our dog bird. We got our plyo plank pop up, our finisher here, our last little explosive movement. And our core, how it works is we're in plank, pop to push. I'm not to plank, we pop to push. We got a set of 8 here, finishing strong, and we're working through it. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, last one, and 8. We're gonna just sit and transition right into our gentle flow here. Into our child's pose. Again, we're gonna work a little bit of our shoulders here. Just kind of finishing that stretch out, getting our chest open up. We're gonna go onto our fingertips to start. Getting into those shoulders. And we're gonna walk it out. Trying to get to T if we can. Once we get as far as we can, we're gonna just hold here for a second, take a breath. Slowly walk it back. Lifting those shoulders here. We're gonna level those hands back out. Taking a deep breath. We're gonna pick those eyes up. Again, we're gonna glide through into our cobra. Bringing that gaze to the ceiling. Taking in deep breaths here. Add that little bit of neck rotation one more time. Inhaling and releasing. Coming back. Again, sit back into our child's pose. We're going to run through that flow just a couple times here. So again, we're picking our eyes up, gliding through. Taking a breath. We release. We sit back into our child's pose. One more time, pressing through, bring those eyes up. Glide through. Press up. Another deep breath here. We're going to transition into our downward dog here. We engage those toes, press back. And we slowly, after we get this hold, we're going to take a breath. Slowly walk those hands to our forward fold. And again, we're just going to hold. Slowly rising to our just dead back. We're leveled out here. Our arms are just flailing. Neck is loose. Coming out of that 90. We're going to round our back over. And each vertebrae aligned. Cleaning our shoulders into alignment. That concludes today's session. Thank you for everyone who joined. Again, appreciate all the donations. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you guys all tomorrow. Is that good, Jeff?
Mm-hmm.